Hello everyone. Today I am going to make a documentation video of how I'm installing this Android-based touchscreen radio upgrade in the W211 E550. It's a 2007 model. So this is a bit complicated, and these units all come from China. And there's really not much in the way of instructions. They give you some pinouts and a very basic user manual, but not really good instructions. So this unit is the 8-inch touchscreen. I think I paid about $130 for this off of eBay. I did have to message back and forth with the seller a couple of times, and they did get me some important information that was not available anywhere else. So first, this unit comes with, well, I have the Harmon-Kardon navigation, fully loaded version of the radio entertainment system in this car. So it has the 6-disc changer, and the face is supposed to lift up. That's not going to work anymore, but no big deal. Nobody uses that. It has, this is the original radio here. Navigation system. It has just the 2 plugs on the back of this unit in the dash, but really the brains of the operation is in the trunk. You've got a navigation CD box and the amplifier, which also connects all the antennas and things. So I'll cut to the trunk and show some things back there. So this unit came with this octopus power cable, and these are made for different vehicles. This is an older W211 with this big fat connector coming from the radio. It also came with this other smaller power harness that so really all you need off of this end is so this smaller power harness, and you could probably use either one because you're going to hack it up, but this one connects to this CAN bus decoder unit, which actually works great, and then these 2 wires from the CAN bus unit goes to I had to actually, on this harness, it came with this connector attached to these black and white wires, and on the other octopus connector it had a long piece that can go to your CAN bus. So I spliced that together, cut that connector off, put these wires in, and they go up under the dash. Let me try to show you. There's a bus bar for the CAN bus, and you just plug it into one of the empty slots. And I'm going to have to run that behind. I'm just doing this while I have everything taken apart and finally fully functional. And then other than the CAN bus, all you need here is power, so you have constant power. I made a little quick disconnect with some spade connectors here. And then I tapped the original power from the car. Now, this is the red and yellow wire. This is a constant 12 volt. And the brown is the ground. So there was actually some joints, which I believe were from the factory, that were taped over with some cloth-like OEM tape. They were like crimp joints. So rather than cutting or splicing my own, I basically just took that tape off, and I decided to wrap these around, and I did a little solder. I'm going to put some liquid electrical tape on there and probably some new cloth tape over that just to protect it. So from this factory harness, you will remove this fiber piece, and then this is your fiber most optical decoder box. So initially I thought they were all the same. They are not. This one clearly says MLGL. So what I learned is this is for the Bose system in those models and not for the Harmon-Kardon. So make sure you get the right one. This one was from Amazon. It's an Extron's brand. Basically, you just pop that fiber connector in there, and then you've got a ground and a constant power, and then you've got your audio input, which goes to the audio output line out of the new radio. So audio goes out here, this thing powers up, sends it through the fiber to the factory amplifier, and it's all working now. So really that's all you need on this harness: the CAN bus, the constant power, the ground, and then this is a switched power, which I tapped into the cigarette lighter plug down here. Sorry, I have to make a little update to the W211 Android radio installation video. What I found was that my auto headlights were not turning off when I turned off the car. The main headlights would go off, switches on auto, and the parking lights all around would not turn off with the car. And then subsequently I didn't drive the car for a few days, and I believe whatever process that was drained my battery completely flat. So something was staying awake. So a little bit of troubleshooting. What I noticed was that where I tapped this switched power signal to the cigarette lighter terminal there, you actually don't need this switched power if you have CAN bus. The green wires going under the dash is your CAN bus. It will tell the CAN bus unit attached to the radio when the car turns on. So what was happening is actually this outlet here, you see I've got my little power adapter installed here. And okay, so what I found was as soon as I stick the key in, this would light up here. And now just the radio is lighting up. It's getting turn on signal from the CAN bus. So the CAN bus comes active as soon as you put in the key. And I think what was happening is that in turn was backfeeding switch power to here, because this was coming on immediately when I had this connected. And so now it comes on with the switch as it should, and it goes off. What I found in my scan tool was that is called terminal 15R, and I was seeing that as soon as I put the key in, that terminal 15R was coming on. So now it's see it's off. It was coming on immediately, and that was waking up something in the car. The auto headlights wouldn't shut off. Now you see it only comes on when I actually turn the key, and it goes off immediately. Before, it was delaying the off for about a minute, which is when my lights and my dash lights and my parking lights would go off. So all I did was I simply unhooked this blue switched power wire from this switched power. It's unnecessary. The CAN bus tells the unit to come on. So sorry for any pain. It's pretty simple. If you've already done it, to remove this little bezel, pop the coin ashtray out and just disconnect this. I'm just going to snip that off, take this little connector out, put some tape, and that's it. I don't need that. It was causing some problems, and I'm glad that I figured that one out. Install a reverse camera. So you've got this reverse camera harness here. Any basic reverse camera will do, but at the end of the video I'll show you one of the pieces of information I had to get from the seller in China as far as compatibility of the reverse camera signal. This piece of the harness is for actual amplified speaker outputs, you know, standard colors, purple, green, brown, or gray, white. If you wanted to bypass the original factory amp, there's an extension plug you can cable, you run to the trunk, and you basically take the other end of this out of the factory amp, and you run amplified signal straight off the new unit, but I wanted to retain the Harmon-Kardon amp, of course. I'll probably just cut this off because it's not needed, just to declutter. And the nice thing about these is, I mean, you can buy the unit with a CD player or DVD player in it, but nobody uses that in 2025, so this gives you a lot more room for activities behind the radio to get all your wires tucked in there. Probably gonna zip these up and stick this box somewhere so it doesn't drop down. It's gonna be hard to get this CD player in because you have to do this last, because there's screws on the bottom of the unit that secure it to these little brackets here. And I might even play with taking the fiber out of this changer and putting a loop in there and just taking it out of the loop, unplugging it. I've seen videos. I'm going to link all the resources that I found online that helped me in the bottom description of the video. But some people have said the loop is fine. Some people say it won't work when you take that out of the loop. So we'll see. Maybe I'll mess with that later. But right now, it's all connected and it's fully functioning. I still got to run some wires from the trunk. So the other things that you need to connect to here is, so it has a built-in GPS. I'll probably use the CarPlay function 99.9%, but I like everything to work. So I am going to tap into the car's original GPS antenna in the trunk, and I'll show you that, as well as the radio antenna. So it comes with an antenna that you could, I don't know, I've seen them mounted in the corner of the dash before, corner of the windshield, but I figured out how to tap into the original GPS antenna, so we're going to do that. Keep everything original. The only thing that I did do is, so there's a microphone you can see, but that's a tiny little hole. I don't think that's going to give good audio. So I am going to mount this little microphone that came with it up here. Tuck that down behind, so it'll be real close to the driver for a good microphone when you're on your phone. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut to the trunk. All right, excuse the sun this morning. So here in the trunk, you've got your CD navigation box there, and then tucked up back in here, the amplifier is actually right there. You see that connector? That's one of your antennas. But basically from that amplifier box, I pulled out, this is the FM antenna connection, and it comes with this little adapter that adapts it to a standard sort of connector. And then I've got just like a 15-20 foot 5 meter, I forget what size it was, but I'm going to run that extension up to the unit in front, as well as the GPS antenna. So the GPS antenna is actually this blue connector that's connected to the back of the GPS box. So I pulled that out. I bought a little connector adapter on Amazon. That's called a FAKRA-C, F-A-K-R-A-C GPS style connector, and you need the male to this is called a SMA style coax adapter. And then from here I got an extension cable. So we've got the I guess that's the male or female, I forget which is which here, but this is just an extension cable. So this will go into my little adapter there, and the other end will screw onto the back of the radio where I showed you. So we got to run this to the front, this to the front, and then I do have a backup camera that I mounted up here, or will be mounting. I made one tiny little hole, maybe you can see, to run this wire in here, and then I ran the cables with zip ties down here, down along the trunk. I also had to run a power for that camera, so I tapped the yellow wire here for the tail light. I figured out that is your 12 volt when the reverse is on. Use another one of these little taps that I don't really love, but so you got your positive here, and then there's a nice ground terminal right here. Run that up along, and that will power the camera when you're in reverse, and then the video wires coming back down, so I'll run that to the front with the 2 antenna wires. And really that's about it. Everything is working. I'll probably do some shots of you know, the unit playing and the GPS and the phone and all that good stuff, CarPlay. But right now I just need to tuck it back in, get everything back together, and enjoy. Okay, so here's a little review of the 8-inch touchscreen entertainment unit installed in the 2007 E550. So as you can see, the Android Auto wireless is connected to my phone. Everything functioning there. Music, whatever you like. Music works. Sounds pretty good. So the Android Auto, or if you have Apple CarPlay, same thing, but sounds really good. The radio is functional, and you can change these skins on the menus, but so if you go to I mean, it has a built-in storage where you could connect. I have the USB just hanging down there. You could transfer, I'm guessing, music, video. If you go back to the main menu, it also does video under this button. There's some preloaded content here just to demonstrate, but you can play video. It does have radio, so FM radio. I'll say that the quality of the sound on the radio doesn't seem that great, but maybe I'm just not used to regular radio.
We do all that to the V6 powered Frontier, so you never have to hold back. Nissan.
I will show the volume buttons are working.
For JD Power 2025 U.S. Initial Quality Study Award.
You see.
2025 model year, newer models may be shown.
The phone buttons should work too. I would have to make a phone call. And then the skip buttons works too. You can skip tracks. So you'll see the radio actually displayed in the cluster there. If I go to the Android Auto, you have to go to this little app here. It kind of it just says audio off, but the volume and buttons still work. I can skip to the next track. So all very cool, all functioning. This does not open anymore. There is a built-in navigation of the unit itself, and I have that antenna hooked up as I showed. I haven't really played with this. I don't know, it's not really showing the map. It probably works, but you know, I'm just going to be using my phone connection. This is a little clunky in this skin, so I might switch to something else. But you get in the car, it links to your phone and shows this screen if you have it linked up, just like other CarPlay Android Auto units. Nice big 8-inch screen. I do like that it has a physical volume knob. That's why I went for this model versus just the pure screen, and it has some physical buttons. It has EQ. I found that the built-in speakers. You know, the original Harmon-Kardon amp and speakers can't really handle a lot of bass, but it sounds pretty good, especially on the phone connected mode. You can customize, save EQ settings. There's some pre-programmed things, but yeah. So all very good. Everything's working. Buttons, CAN bus, everything working. Oh, I did put in a camera, so I need to straighten it out. But the cool thing is the lines actually move with the steering wheel. I think that's via the CAN bus. I think I'm going to take off. I think there's a setting in here you can remove the little dotted lines if you have this style. So that's very cool. Oh, one more thing that the information I did have to email or message the seller about is my reverse camera wasn't displaying at first. If you hold here and then you touch this, you can select different types of camera protocols here. Mine was an AHD 1080, but there's a little wire you could snip to convert it to CVBS. I found that there was some strange kind of feedback lines in the AHD signal, so I went ahead and just put it on CVBS. Looks good enough for a reverse camera. So just wanted to add that little tip. But yeah, it's a nice little unit. Everything's working as expected.